I'm here today to try to give you a one-on-one complete understanding on how to utilize these particular grips when you're training, okay? Now, what you're going to be utilizing first is the concept of training between the fingers. This is why we have the precision ball. Now, the precision ball is placed between the finger folds in this fashion every time you actually train. So keep that in mind. The difference of my grip is that you have to keep the ball between the fingers, never with a closed fist, always an open palm, versus a barbell grip or a dumbbell grip where you're constantly just gripping the bar, kicking in the assistance from your forearm to help you do the lift that you're trying to do. This particular open finger, open palm grip that I have utilized is designed to take the forearm out of the equation, or at least as much of the forearm as we possibly can. The reason why is that you're trying to train a certain muscle. I don't need the forearm to help me train that muscle, okay? But every time you grab a barbell or a dumbbell, and as soon as you latch on, guess what? You engage the forearm, and you're ready to start training forearms regardless. This is bicep, tricep, and forearm training demonstration. With the bicep training, this is what we want to keep in mind. The concept is to split the bicep into 3 different sections. Even though it only has one full belly, we want to go with 3 different zones, as I call it. Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. When I'm training my triceps, also a 3-headed muscle group. I like to train those particular ones as often as I can, but also alone. Now, that's almost an impossible task if you have the barbell, because as soon as you make that power grip, you engage the forearm, and then you activate all 3 of the heads. It's just from a standard mechanics of your body's motion, okay? You lock in, now you're in a power position, so all 3 of the heads come to attention. Now, with my particular grip, we're not going to make that fist, so we're going to take the forearm out the equation, number 1. Now we're going to put the ball between the 2 fingers. And as we do so, what I've come to find out is that when you place the ball between the 2 fingers in this position, and then you push the attention to it, you're going to be able to stimulate the outer head of the tricep. What happens is, once you move the ball between the first and the second fingers, then you stimulate the rear tricep head. And keep going. When you put it between the fingers, pinky, you're going to hit the inner tricep head. So you see what I'm doing here. I've been able to break down the muscle groups, okay? Single out the muscle, attack that muscle, because I'm training the triceps, biceps, and or forearms, right? I'm utilizing a precision training approach. So right now, this is the utilization of trying to train just the outer head of the tricep. This works for man, woman, and child. These grips are for everybody. Doesn't matter your experience level. If you're just learning, this is fantastic, because you need to understand what the benefit of trying to isolate a muscle gives, and also the strategy on how to isolate a muscle. That's where we come into a lightweight training system and principle. With heavy weights, the first thing you're going to do is latch on, because you need a powerful grip, a different grip. And remember, when you make that fist, you need to activate your forearms. We're training triceps, not forearms. Watch this movement, work with me here, and you understand exactly what we're doing. Now, this is what I like to do. When I'm training with this particular precision ball, I have on the precision ball itself, 50. That's either 50 pounds or less in some exercises, or plain old 50 to make sure you understand, stay below 50 pounds, or half of 100, half of the weight that you ever used before. This particular exercise, this particular principle, this particular movement between the finger folds, I personally will use 1 plate, 5 kilos, 4 kilos, 3 kilos, and or 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7, up to 10 pounds. That is the maximum amount of weight I need to use training my triceps in the precision training mode to stimulate that muscle, to get a better reaction to that muscle and a better growth pattern started. So without further ado, check this out. What I do is I get my body perfectly balanced. I want to be able to move. I'm not involving, and I'm asking you, when you train this particular way, I don't want you to train standing straight. everything like a stiff board. I want you to move around, get a little balance, get those motion muscles stabilizing your body, okay? So here's my standing position for here. I'm going to do the outer head of the tricep. Here's the finger position grip. Place my finger around the ball, okay? I can do it two ways. One, here's the stabilizing position. Notice I have my offhand hand just up here for balance. I like having it up here. So all I'm doing here is positioning my body so I can get above the weight and push the weight through. The wrist is very loose, okay? Therefore, the forearm is not engaged. So what I'm doing is, as I grab the ball and pull it down, the angle of the hand, as you see, stays in this position. Perfect L shape, okay? Do not stiffen the wrist. Keep that wrist loose at all times. Let the tricep take all the resistance. Don't brace it with your wrist, looking for leverage. This is now the contracting muscle, okay? Two things to remember before we get started. Number one, contracting muscle first. Feel that contraction. That's the end result that we're looking for, okay? I just given you the goal. Stick your arm out, contract the tricep, feel that tricep muscle. That's what you want to feel from the start of your exercise. I don't want you to reverse it by looking for this after you do an exercise. You got that pump going and you got that contracted muscle. Stick to the exercise. Here's the position here. Let's go from this position here. Push it through. Bring it back to the top. Spin the palm around. It faces me. I turn the palm away from me. And I push the weight through the floor. Extending it. Notice the down position. Still have that L. It's never this. Okay? It's always right there. The weight is pulling it back up, of course. The tricep is already contracted. So now I'm doing full tricep outer head contraction, utilizing the 2-finger fold with 10 pounds. It's heavy, and I'm going through this workout right now, feeling it on the 4th rep right there. Already feeling that intenseness picking up, okay? That's what you're going to get as well. It doesn't take much to stimulate that muscle. This is lightweight. The muscle's already pre-contracted, all right? Remember that, pre-contracted muscle. Again, first 2 fingers, I was concentrating on the outer head. Now I'm going to concentrate on the rear tricep head, by moving the ball over between the other 2 fingers, okay? Same execution, pushing it down, dragging the weight down, extending it to the bottom now, contracting the rear head of the tricep. There we go. This is the movement. You might notice me doing a rotation. I like to make it rotate to free the wrist up. I don't want it too stiff. Take the tension off of my elbow as well. So I like to have the palm facing me as I start the exercise, rotate it away from me, then push it through. Rotate that hand as it falls through back to the forward position, as such, and back down. Okay? Now we're working that rear depth. Here we go. Rear. Good. Now I'm going to move it over to the pinky. Same execution, pushing it through. Relax on that wrist, drive it to the floor. Rotate. Right there. That is the full rotation movement that I want you guys to use. You don't have to. You can go to the simple, basic push-through exercise if you like. Just push it through. All right? But I would like to see you do both. Make that muscle move back there. Get it moving around. Make it, it's life into it. All right? So once again, I start with this particular grip. I go to each of the fingers. If I'm doing an exercise, sets and reps, I'm going to do 10 reps to start off with between each of the fingers. 10 reps in the middle, 10 reps in the end, boom, boom, boom. It's 10, 10, 10, finish. And I go to the other hand, 10, 10, 10, finish. That's one set. This is how we do this. Now, by the time you do 3 sets, if you do 3 or 4 sets, by the time you get to that 3rd set, you might be very, very, very tired. Those arms are going to take a beat. Trust me. So what I want you to do is to make sure your weight is still on the lighter edge, because you will see the difference. Once you're pushing through, stay with the exercise, but assist it. Put your hand back here and give it a little tug, okay? Stay with the exercise. Drop your number of reps. If you're using 10, go down to 8. Give yourself a number to achieve. If it's only 6, just make sure you get 6 between each finger before you move off. 6 between each, move to the next. 6 between that, move to the next. That's the perfect way to attack your triceps. Now, that's with the precision ball. Okay, there's multiple exercises that you can do for your triceps. However, the exercises will all be the same, okay, that you already done. I'm not creating new exercises. But what I'm telling you now is that because you're utilizing precision training, the two-finger fold is going to keep you locked in, and it's going to keep that weight very light. Keep the principle, very lightweight, rotational movements, keep those joints activated, okay? Let's get the forearm out of the equation. Let's train the muscle we want to train without the help, okay? Now we're training triceps, for example. The precision ball for triceps, lighter between the fingers, is the only way to go, one plate. Now, when you want to train heavier, I want you to grab the 2-ball unit, okay? Same precaution, same movement. I'm going to attach the 2-ball unit to the exercise, okay? Now, what I want to do here is show you that once you place the precision ball between the 2 fingers for the first exercise we did, now we're going to do with the 2-ball exercise. So it's simply having 2 zones that we're going to be training, and at the same time, those 2 zones are going to attack not only the outer head of the muscle and the middle, if I have them in this finger fold position, which is 1, 2, 3, okay? Now, if I were to move the pinky involved in and take the first finger out of the equation, now I'm going to be training the inside and the rear. You follow me? First 2 fingers activate the outer head. The middle 2 of the outer heads activate the outer muscle here. So the middle is going to hit the rear. What we want to do is focus on which exercise we're trying to train. Now we can go heavy. Okay, we're still training triceps, but for those of you who want to increase the volume, now we're going heavy by using the 2-ball. Please do not use the single precision ball over 20 pounds. It's hard for me. I'm a professional bodybuilder, used to be. Even now, I use 5 to 10 pounds when I'm working out. Maximum, I'm going to use 15 to 20 when I'm using the double ball grip, which allows me to use a better, stronger grip and a more powerful. Okay, so that's the consideration I want you to think about when you're training your triceps. Again, there's tricep extension. There's multiple ways to do the tricep, but the thing to remember is this: you have to keep the finger fold working at all times. Loose wrist, relax the forearm, no involvement. Contract the muscle first, the outer head, the rear. Contract the muscle. When I say contract, I mean make a muscle. You can make a muscle, there it is, it's already contracted. If I was training my biceps, it would be the same thing. The muscle's contracted, now I'm going to pull the weight into the contraction. Make sense? Now, follow me. Recap. Find your position. Precision ball and or double ball smart grip. If I'm using the double ball smart grip now, that means I'm trying to go heavy. So I change my weight. Now I'm going to go a little bit heavier. My body position is still the same. Left hand or right hand, it doesn't matter. What I need you to understand is this. Select the zones that you want to train that correlate with the muscle that you're trying to attack. Okay? Same grip, open palm. The loose wrist. Okay? Here we go. And we push through, rotate out, push through. That's it. Okay, very simple. But now here, there's only 1 set, okay, and a certain amount of reps per set. It's not going between the fingers, so you're just going to utilize this as if you were using the dumbbell, okay? So now, 1 set of these, 1 of 3 or 4, 10, 12 reps, whatever you're doing, remember the execution. The beauty of what we're doing on the cable machine is that we can now attack all the muscles that we're training on multiple angles. That's very important if you're trying to shape your body. You know, you can train your triceps in a downward motion here. I can also train my triceps on what I call a swing out motion. Okay? There's so many multiple ways of training the tricep muscle. All right? So, feel free to utilize that portion if you want to just train heavier, or if you want to use precision training, you really want to look at a certain muscle and say, look, I need to attack this waviness down here underneath my tricep. Well, I know to make this muscle down here tighter, what I need to do is place that precision ball between the middle fingers right here, do the exact same exercise if I was doing that, okay, and pushing through. Now I'm actually concentrating on this rear head of the tricep. That's what I want you to see, the magic of precision training. The Vince Taylor Smart Grips are just that. It makes you think about the muscle so you know what you're trying to reach when you feel that muscle contract. This is what this is all about. Take control of the muscle group that you're training, understand the feeling that you're trying to get, and then utilize your own sense of judgment. You don't need a training partner for this. I don't need to tell you, when you do 10 reps with the first set, 10, 10, 10 between the fingers, now the muscle's so tight, you're like, wow, I can't do 10. So, do 6. You choose a number, but you make sure you get it. It's all up to you. All right? So, that section right there is just about how to train the triceps. We're going to move right into the bicep training, and it's going to sound pretty much similar to what you just heard. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.